Devastated, the university campus was more vibrant than ever. Today was convocation day. Graduates dressed in black gown and caps filled the enormous campus. The moment the dean finished his speech, hundreds of graduation caps flew into the air. Cheers erupted from every corner. Laughter mixed happy tears as friends hugged each other, took endless photos and reminisced about the unforgettable years they had spent together. It was the end of one chapter and the beginning of another. When a familiar voice called out from behind, you turn around, a bright smile instantly spread across your face. When Sophia, you hurried over and wrapped your best friends in a warm hug. It's been forever. Sophia laughed, I know. She stepped back and grinned mischievously. Sophia, since we are finally done with university, come to Denmark with us. My parents already said everyone is welcome. It will be your first Denmark tour. She smiled apologetically. While I wish I could, but I can't. Her smile faded slightly. Sophia, why? Why, I have to go home. You glanced at your phone before answering. My dad says has gotten old. He has serious heart problems. Her expression turned worried. Sophia, how's uncle now? You sighed softly. Why, not good. He can't manage the company anymore, so I have to take over the family business. You smiled helplessly. While my younger brother already announced that he wants to become a singer, so you laughed quietly. That leaves me. Before Sophia could reply, another familiar voice interrupted. Hey. Both girls turned around. Daisy. Sophia folded her arms dramatically. Sophia. Oh, look who finally remembered we exist. You have been taking pictures with everyone else in the whole time. Daisy laughed. I had to say goodbye first. Now I'm free. She looked at you hopefully. Daisy, come to Australia instead. My family invited both of you. It will be fun. Sophia answered before you could. Sophia, why can't? Her father is sick. She is flying back home. Daisy smiled softened. Daisy, oh. You quickly changed the mood. Why? Then both of you should visit South Korea someday. I will be personally show you around. We will have so much fun. Daisy smiled. Sure, but only if you invite us to your wedding. You rolled your eyes dramatically. Why? Not happening. Daisy and Sophia burst into laughter. Just then, your phone began ringing. You glanced at the screen. Dad, your smile slowly faded. Why? I have to go. You slipped your phone into your pocket. Sophia, take care of yourself, okay? She hugged you one last time. Promise you will visit Denmark someday. Why? I will. Daisy hugged you next. Daisy, and don't forget Australia. While I on. You smiled warmly after waving goodbye to your friends. You picked up your bag and without looking back, you quietly walked away from the campus that had changed your life forever. This time, it wasn't leaving because it was running away. It was returning home, ready to face whatever awaited you next. You arrived at your apartment just before the sunset. With a tired sign, you unlocked the front door. The moment the door opened, a fluffy white cat came sprinting toward you. Before you could even step inside, the little cat jumped straight into your arms. You laughed warmly. When, oh, my Elsa. You cuddled the cat against your chest. Did you miss me, baby? Elsa rubbed her tiny face against your cheeks, purring happily. You couldn't help but smile. I missed you too. Still holding Elsa, you walked into the apartment before gently setting her down on the floor. The little cat immediately circled around your legs. You crouched down and scratched behind Elsa's ear. Wine, we're going home. You smiled softly. Grandpa's sick. We have to go back to South Korea. Elsa tilted her head as if she actually understood every word. One chuckled. I know, you will love it there. Come on, we need to pack. An hour later, an open suitcase lay on the bed. You carefully folded your clothes before placing them inside. You packed a few important documents, your laptop, some family photos, and a few personal belongings you would not leave behind. As you reached for another bag, something suddenly slipped out, a photograph. It fluttered onto the floor. You bent down and, picking it up, the moment you saw it, you froze. It was an old basketball team photo from university. Everyone stood shoulder to shoulder in their uniforms, smiling proudly after winning a championship. Your eyes slowly wandered across each familiar face. Hyuna, Jimin, Jungkook, then Taehyung. For a brief moment, memories you thought you had buried years ago resurfaced. The constant arguments, the ridiculous competitions, the shopping bags, the stolen first keys, the tiny smile unconsciously tugged at the corner of her lips, when, still as annoying as ever, you muttered quietly. As a soft voice pulled you back to reality, you blink. Without another thought, you slid the photograph back into your bag, when, whatever, you rolled your eyes, pretending the picture meant nothing. Then you pulled out your phone, the screen lit up. Your flight departure time, it's time. You zipped the suitcase closed. After lifting your bag, you gently placed Elsa inside her travel carrier. The little girl mewed in protest before curling into a comfortable ball. One smile, come on, sweetheart. You picked up the carrier with one hand and your suitcase with the other. Let's go home. The next day, after years away, he was finally home. As the car pulled through the large iron gates, he gazed out the window. Everything looked both familiar and unfamiliar. The mansion has been renovated. The gardens are larger than before, colorful flowers blooming along the stone pathway. The fountain in the center had been replaced with a grander one, and even the exterior of the house looked more elegant. He smiled softly when so much has changed. The car stopped in front of the entrance. A butler opened the door for you to step out, taking a deep breath before walking inside. The moment you entered the mansion, you spread your arms with a bright smile. While I am home. Almost instantly, Mrs. Min came running from the living room. Without saying a word, she put you into a tight hug. Mrs. Min, my daughter is finally home. Her voice trembled with emotion. I am so happy. You hugged her mother just as tightly. Well, I missed you too, Mom. A familiar voice interrupted them. How are you, princess? You look up. Your father was standing nearby, with a warm smile on his face, although he looked heavier than before. The years and illness had left visible traces on him. Your eyes immediately softened. You hurried over and hugged him. Well, I should be the one asking that. How are you, Dad? Sherman, I am much better now. He gently patted your head. Just then, everyone looked toward the pet carrier on the floor. Mrs. Milgram, oh my, hasn't anyone laid the poor things out yet? She quickly opened the carrier. A fluffy white cat stepped out cautiously before looking around her new surroundings. My love, come here, Elsa. Elsa immediately trotted over and jumped into your arm. You gently stroked her soft fur before smiling at her parents. Meet your grandparents. You carefully placed Elsa into Mrs. Min's arms. Mrs. Min's face instantly lit up. Mrs. Min, oh my goodness, she is even cuter in person. I have only seen her through the video calls. Elsa purred completely while Mrs. Min cuddled her. His suddenly teasing voice echoed through the living room. Oh great, the walking headache is finally back. You turn around. You're in your brother leaned casually against the staircase with his hands in his pockets. You rolled your eyes. Wine, yeah. Before you could say anything else, Yoongi suddenly walked over and wrapped you in a tight hug. Yoongi, I miss you. The room fell silent for a moment. Even Im looked surprised. Then he smiled and hugged him back. Wine, I miss you too. Everyone watched the siblings with warm smiles. The emotional moment lasted exactly 3 seconds. He pulled away and looked at you expectantly. Yoongi, so where is my gift? You blinked innocently. Wine, I didn't bring one. Yoongi, what? His jaw dropped. He dramatically placed a hand over his heart. Then, what was the point of that emotional reunion? I worked so hard for nothing. While what? You burst into laughter. You grabbed a nearby cushion and threw it at him. He cocked it effortlessly. Yoongi, hey. He pointed toward a pink suitcase near the entrance. Mine, the pink bag. Everything inside is yours. He looked at the suitcase with visible disgust. Yoongi, pink? Was there seriously no other color? He sighed dramatically. Whatever, as long as everything inside belongs to me. With another word, he grabbed the suitcase and hurried upstairs. You watched him leave before shaking your head. Why, I think he only came to see the gifts. Mr. Min laughed. No, he really missed you. He just refused to admit it. You smiled to yourself. Some things never changed. Mr. Min gently placed a hand on your shoulder. Mr. Min, you have had a long journey. Mrs. Min, go upstairs. Your room has been prepared. Get some rest. Why nodded. Okay, you picked up your handbag and slowly walked upstairs toward your room. Downstairs, Mr. Min sat on the sofa happily playing with Elsa, who chased a toy across the living room. Mrs. Min disappeared into the kitchen, already planning a feast for her daughter's first dinner back home. You slowly pushed open the door to your bedroom. The moment you stepped inside, you stopped. Nothing had changed. The soft cream-colored walls, the book neatly arranged on the shelves, your study desk, the curtains, even the bed was exactly the way you had left it 5 years ago. You smiled faintly, while everything is still the same. You slowly walk around the room, gently running your fingertips across your old study table. It was spotless, nothing a single layer of dust. Someone had clearly taken care of it all these years. When you reached the bed, something caught your eye. A brown teddy bear sat quietly against the pillow. You froze. You carefully picked it up. A nostalgic smile slowly appeared on her face, while the memories you had buried years ago, suddenly came rushing back. Flashback. You stood in front of a claw machine, your eyes fixed on one particular teddy bear. While I almost had it, the claw lifted the teddy, only for it to slip and fall back inside. You sighed dramatically. It fell again. Beside you, Mina yawned, while carrying several shopping bags. Mina, enough already. It's getting late. Let's go home. One pouted. Just one more try. Mina folded her arms. Mina, you have been saying one more try for the last hour. She pointed at the pile of stuffed animals you had already owned. You already got all these dolls. Take them. You shook your head stubbornly. Why? I don't like any of them. I only want that teddy. You look up at the dark clouds gathering outside. Mina, it's about to rain. I'm leaving. You glanced at the teddy bear one last time before letting out a defeat sign. Well, fine, let's go. The two girls leave the arcade together. As both walk down the stairs. Well, wait, you suddenly stop. I'll be back, right? Mina frowned. Where are you going now? Without answering, you ran across the streets. A few homeless children were sitting on the sidewalk. You knelt beside them with a smile. Why, you can have this. You handed every stuffed toy you had owned to the children. Their faces instantly lit up with excitement. Thank you, big sister. One smile, no problem. You returned to Mina empty-handed. Mina blinked. You gave them all away. You shouted casually, while I didn't really like them, and Mom would have scolded me for bringing home so many toys. So I figured they would make those kids happier. Mina, you are unbelievable. She smiled helplessly. Come on, we are already late. The two climbed into the car and drove home. The next day, after basketball practice, you open your locker to put away your jersey. The moment the locker door swung open, you froze inside. See the exact same teddy bear from the claw machine. You carefully pick it up. Well, how did you get here? You search the locker from the top to bottom. Nothing. No note, no name, no proof. You look around the empty locker room. No one was there. A small smile appeared on your lips. I guess the person doesn't want me to know who they are. You hug the teddy bear tightly before placing it carefully inside your backpack. Then you put away your jersey, close the locker, and walk away. In the flashback, you gently brushed the dustless fur of the teddy bear. I still don't know who gave it to me. Knock knock. A soft knock came from the bedroom door. You turned around. Mrs. Min stood there carrying Elsa in her arms. Mrs. Min, oh wine, dinner is ready. She smiled before looking around. By the way, where is Elsa's food? You into comfortable clothes before climbing into bed. Elsa curled up beside you, already half asleep. You gently stroked the little cat's soft fur. Wine, good night, Elsa. Within seconds, Elsa drifted off to sleep. You smiled softly. The long journey, the emotional reunion, everything had exhausted you. You slowly closed your eyes. The next morning, he was put out of your deep sleep by the loud ringing of your phone. You groaned, brightly reaching across the bedside table before answering without even opening your eyes. Wine, hello. A familiar voice immediately shouted through the speaker. Hey, this is a video call. You slowly opened one eye and looked at the screen. Suzy and Amina, all three were smiling brightly from a group video call. Wine yawned. How are you guys? Mina, we are good, she replied, but that's not important. When are we meeting? You dramatically fell back onto your pillow. Why, no way. I just got home. I'm sleeping for the next few days. Suzy laughed. Absolutely not. We are having a university reunion tonight. Almost everyone is coming. Why, seriously? You set up a editor? Mina, yes. She nodded excitedly. I will send you the address this evening. Why bring everyone? Suzy narrowed her eyes teasingly. Suzy, why do you keep asking everyone? She smiled. Are you secretly wondering if they will be there? You immediately frowned. Why, no. You laughed. Relax. We aren't even talking about him. Honestly, we don't know if he is coming either. He left for the UK just a few days after you moved to the US. He went there for higher studies. Only Jimmy and Jungkook know when he come back. I simply nodded. Well, oh, I don't really care anyway. I will come tonight. Just wait for me. You ended the call before anyone could tease you again. For a brief moment, you stared quietly at your phone, lost in thought. Elsa laughed against your leg. You smiled immediately and picked her up. Why, oh, good morning, pretty girl. You kissed the cat's forehead. It's breakfast time. You poured food into Elsa's bowl. The little cat happily began eating. Watching Elsa always made you smile. After making sure your furry companion was comfortable, you headed upstairs to get ready for the evening. That evening, you stood in front of the mirror wearing an elegant yellow gown. Your hair fell in soft waves over your shoulders. Her simple jewelry completed your graceful look. You took one last deep breath. Well, let's do this. The reunion venue, beautifully decorated, warm fairy lights illuminated the hall while soft music played in the background. The long tables were filled with foods and drinks. Laughter echoed throughout the hall. The moment you stepped inside, several familiar faces immediately turned toward you. Why, oh my god, it's really you? You have been gone for 5 years. How are you? Did you forget all of us? Do you still remember me? You couldn't help but laughing. Why, of course I remember. You spent the next several minutes greeting old classmates and catching up with everyone. Just then, someone suddenly grabbed your wrist. Before you could react, he was pulled into a warm hug. Finally, one laughed, Suzy. Almost immediately, Yuna and Mina joined you too. The four best friends wrapped each other in a group hug. You stepped back and looked at them carefully. Why, oh, you have all become such beautiful women. Suzy crossed her arms. Suzy, as if you haven't. Everyone burst into laughter. Wine. Another familiar voice called out. You turned around. Jimin and Jungkook were walking toward them with bright smiles. For a brief second, all memories of endless romance across your mind, but this time you simply smiled. Why, hi, how have you guys been? Jungkook grinned. We're good. I'm glad we finally met again. I honestly thought we would never see you after you left. You smiled softly. Why, no matter how far I go, this is still home. Jimmy nodded. So, are you staying in Korea for good this time? You took a sip of a drink before answering. Why, yeah, I'm staying. The conversation continued naturally. Everyone laughed as they shared stories about their lives over the past 5 years. Suddenly, a commotion erupted near the entrance. Students began whispering excitedly. More and more people gathered near the door. One frowned. What's going on? Jimin and Jungkook exchanged knowing smiles. Without answering, they quietly walked toward the crowd. The people standing near the entrance slowly stepped aside. A feminine figure came into view, tall, broad shoulders, dressed in a perfectly tailored black suit. His once youthful feathers had become sharper and more mature. His calm expression carried the confidence of someone who had changed over the years. Your servant unconsciously skipped when Taehyungff, after 5 long years, their paths had crossed once again. You could not take your eyes off him. Across the hall, Taehyungff greeted all classmates with an easy smile. His deep voice had become even richer over the years, and his calm confidence drew everyone's attention without him even trying. Jimin and Jungkook grew genuinely happy to see him again. As if sensing someone's gaze, Taehyungff slowly turned his head. His eyes met yours. A small, familiar smile appeared on his lips before he casually looked away and continued talking to the others. You frowned. For some strange reason, your heartbeat quickened. 5 years. Their teenage years were over. Everyone had changed. They were no longer the immature university students who argued over everything. You had no idea whether their rivalry still existed, or if it had quietly become something else. A random thought suddenly crossed your mind. He is ridiculously handsome now, like some Prince Charming. He probably has a girlfriend already. Back then, girls practically lined up for him. You immediately shook your head. Why am I even thinking about him? Why? Ivana nudged over shoulders. What are you staring at? Want to go say hi? You instantly look away. Why no? I have no interest in ruining my mood. Yana laughed, still stubborn. The 4 friends joined a larger group of classmates, laughing and sharing stories from the past 5 years. Meanwhile, most of the guests had already had a little too much to drink. The atmosphere became louder and livelier. After a while, you placed your glass on the table. Well, guys, I will be right back. I'm going to the restroom. You quietly walk away. A few minutes later, you step out of the restroom. Before you could take another step, someone grabbed your wrist and pulled you into the empty hallway. Wyatt heard the you look up. You? Standing in front of you was Taehyungff. His cheeks were slightly flushed. The smell of alcohol lingered around him. He was drunk. He smiled lazily. Taehyungff, yeah. How are you, Miss Gremlin? You folded your arms wide, dark. He stared at you for a few seconds before speaking again. Taehyungff, why? Why did you kiss me that day? One bring what? Taehyungff, my first kiss. He pointed at himself dramatically. I was saving it for my future wife. Why? But I only stole it. You beat back it up. He looked genuinely troubled. Taehyungff, then what about my wife? Why? I didn't realize. He started crying, and you panicked. Why? Hey, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Suddenly you fell silent. He was thinking about something. Taehyungff just staring at you. One giggle. Let's get married. Then your wife will still have her first kiss. Taehyungff's eyes slowly widened. A second later, he nodded seriously. Taehyungff, yeah, that works. Neither of you realized how ridiculous the conversation sounded. Both were equally drunk. Without another word, Taehyungff suddenly scooped you into his arms. You excessively wrapped your arms around his neck. Why, let's go. Taehyungff, okay. He walked straight toward the exit together. Not far away, Jimin noticed them. His eyes widened. Jimin, hey, where are you two going? He stopped mid-sentence. His jaw nearly hit the floor. He was comfortably lying in Taehyungg's arms. You easily looked at Jimin. Well, none of your business. Then you buried your face against Taehyungg's shoulder. Jimin stood frozen. Jimin, what? Before he could stop you two, the two of you disappeared outside. Hey! Jimin immediately spun around. Jimin, Jungkook, come here, hurry. Jungkook, what happened? He rushed over. Jimin pointed toward the entrance. Jungkook looked outside and almost shocked. Jungkook, what the how? Jimin, this isn't time to explain. Jimin grabbed his arms. Go, call Mine's friends. Within moments, Jacob returned with Suzy, Yona, and Mina. The group reached the entrance just in time to see Taehyungff help you into a car. Jacob, no, Jimin shouted, come on. Everyone hurried into another car. Jimin jumped into the driver's seat. Jungkook, we are following them. The engine roared tonight as the car speeded onto the road. Suzy frowned. Can someone please explain what's happening? Jimin kept his eyes on the road. Jimin, we are following Taehyungff. He left carrying Mayan. Yuna's eyes widened. Yuna, what? They live together? But why? Jacob rubbed his forehead. Jimin, I honestly don't know. I saw Taehyungff carrying her. I asked what's going on, and Mayan got mad at me. Mina covered her face with both hands. Mina, oh no, a drunk wine is already dangerous. I don't even want to imagine what she will do now. Jimin suddenly crushed under his feet. Jimin, damn it, I lost their car. Silence filled the vehicle. Suzy leaned back in her seat with a long sigh. Suzy, I swear I can't do this anymore. Every single time one gets drunk, we end up apologizing for something. Jimmy slowly shook his head. Jimmy, no, this time feels different. Everyone turned toward him. What do you mean? Jimmy tightened his grip on the steering wheel. There wasn't any library tonight. He glanced at the empty road ahead. It felt like something else. The entire car fell silent.